So in our previous class we talked about the chapter 13, why do we fall ill? So why do we fall ill? Can anybody tell me why do we fall ill? When we have any infection, when we have any germs entering our body, when there is some more changes in the temperature, in the climate, in the surroundings, and some of the microorganisms that also can make us ill. The word health means, what is the meaning of word health? Well being. If you are actively doing all the works, then it can be said that you are a healthy person. You are not suffering from any disease. But if you are suffering from any disease, you will feel uncomfortable. You cannot do the works with proper efficiency. You cannot give your 100% output in that. What is the meaning of word disease? Disease word is self-explanatory as given. It means disturbed ease. Disturbed ease. What is the meaning of disturbed ease? Disturbed means the work which you were doing comfortably. Now you are having problem in doing that work. Correct? Na? The work which was used to be done with easily, now you are not feeling comfortable in doing that work. It means you are suffering from any disease. Okay? And further, we have to talk about acute and chronic diseases. Further, we have to talk about what? Acute and chronic diseases. So, get on the page number 178. Heading acute and chronic diseases. The manifestations of disease will be different depending on a number of factors. Some disease lasts only for very short periods of time, like viral fever. It lasts for only short period of time, 3 to 4 days or 5 days, or malaria or dengue like that. They are for a short period of time. But if you have some diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, so they may last for a longer period of time. Or the heart diseases, they may be for a longer period of time. So acute means what? Acute diseases are what? That is called short time period. And they will not lead to the death if the treatment is done at the particular time or at the early stage. But if the disease is chronic, means it is harmful, dangerous, and it can lead to the death of the person if you are not taking the precautions to save yourself from that disease. We all know from experience that the common cold lasts only few days. Other ailments can last for longer time, even as much as lifetime, and are called chronic diseases. So as I told you, some that blood pressure, diabetes, these diseases may be for a longer time. And like we take one more disease named like spondylitis. So these are some diseases, they last for the complete lifetime till the person is living. So these are called chronic diseases. And if we don't be precautious about them, then they can lead to of our death also. So we will talk about chronic diseases and poor health. Acute and chronic diseases have different effects on our health. Any disease that causes poor functioning of some part of the body will affect our health. Because when we are ill, any of our parts doesn't function properly. As like we take example of joint aches, it affects the liver. If the liver is not working properly, any one organ of your body, if it is not working properly, it means you are affected by any disease. Disease may be acute or chronic. If it is for a short time period, it is acute. And if it is for a longer time period and it is dangerous, then it is called a chronic disease. Yeah. Any disease that causes poor functioning of some part of the body will affect your health. This is because all functions of the body are necessary for being healthy. But an acute disease which is over very soon, for example like cough and cold or the viral fever, will not have time to cause major effects on the general health, while a chronic disease will do so. Chronic disease, what it will do? Chronic disease, it will affect your organs because it stays for a longer time. Whereas acute diseases, they will be not able to harm your organs because they are only for a short time period, and after we take the vaccination or the medicine prescribed by the doctor, they can be correct. Next, we are going to talk about the causes of diseases. What makes disease cause? These are the reasons that infections can be caused by the germs or the microbes that enter our body through air, water, direct or indirect contact. Like the air we breathe, a number of microbes can enter our body and can make us ill. Suppose the number of microbes are present on our brain, when we touch our mouth, they can enter. Or if we touch anything, suppose a pen which is touched by a person and number of germs are present, which can make you ill. And when the same pen is used by you can also get the infection. Okay now, so how the diseases can be spread and how it can be caused? It can be caused by the germs or the microbes which enter your body. Sometimes the food which we eat, it is rotten or it is containing microbes. So after consuming that, there can be food poisoning in your stomach and that can make you ill. Correct? So we will talk about further causes of diseases. What causes diseases? Microbes, germs, which enter our body. When we think about causes of diseases, we must remember that there are many levels of such causes. Means there are symptoms for each and every particular disease. If there is a baby suffering from loose motions, we can say that the cause of loose motion is probably an infection. What? If a baby is suffering from loose motions, then we can say that the baby is infected or the disease has been caused by infection that has caused disturbance in the body of the baby that led to the loose motions. But the next question is, where did the infection come from? As I told you, it can come from air, water, the food we eat, and through direct and indirect contact. Suppose we find that the infection came through the unclean drinking water, but many babies must have had this unclean drinking water. So why is it that one baby developed loose motions when the other babies did not? It means a number of people are drinking that dirty water, but only few got infected by it. Why they got infected? Because they were not healthy. If the person is not healthy, he will get infected by the germs or the microbes in enter your body. Because our body makes antibodies that fight with the germs and the microbes. But when a person is not healthy, the microbes will enter and the antibodies cannot fight with them and the person will become ill, sick or infected by a disease. Our reason might be that this baby is not healthy. So as what I told, this is the meaning. As a result, it might be more likely to have disease when exposed to risk, whereas healthier babies would not. Means if the baby is healthy, so some of the microbes entering the body, he will not get, he or she will not get infected because antibodies are fighting with the germs. But if the person is not healthy and then these microbes enter. So what will happen? The person will get infected by the disease. Perhaps because it is not well nourished and does not get enough food. So lack of good nourishment becomes a second cause of the disease. As I told you about nutrition in our previous class, and the babies which are not alive during their birth, they suffer from a disease because of the malnutrition. What is malnutrition? Lack of the nutrients in the body of the organism. So, if the process of nutrition is not done properly, and what happens in nutrition? Nutrients are taken in. What are taken in? Nutrients. And if the nutrients are not taken in properly, there will be lack of many complex materials which are needed by the body for proper functioning, and that can lead to an unhealthy result. And you may be at risk of catching any disease quickly as compared to the healthy person. Further, why the baby is not well nourished? The baby is not well nourished because it is not getting the proper nutrition. Proper nutrients are not provided to the baby. That's why the baby is not well. It is also possible that the baby has some genetic difference that makes it more likely to suffer from loose motions when exposed to a pathogen. What are pathogens? So, I was talking about that pathogens, how these diseases are spread. These diseases are spread by pathogens. What are pathogens? Pathogens carry microbes that make us ill. Example of pathogen we can take mosquito, housefly. Mosquito and housefly, these are the examples of pathogens. They carry disease-causing microbes because when they sit on any waste, garbage, or any dirty place, and when they enter our home and sit on the eatable things or the things which are of our use, so the microbes gets transmitted to us, and they make us ill. So better we should not let pathogens enter our home, like house flies, cockroach, or the mosquitoes. Next, we are going to talk about infectious and non-infectious causes. As we have seen, it is important to keep public health and community health factors in mind because I told you about it already. There should be social equality and harmony in the society. If it is not so, that will lead to the spreading of diseases. Because if the water is stagnant in your locality, a number of mosquitoes will breed there, and that will be a cause for spreading the disease. As we have seen, it is important to keep public health and community health factors in mind when we think about causes of diseases. We can take that approach a little further. It is useful to think of the immediate causes of disease as belonging to distinct types. One group of causes is the infectious agents, that is the pathogens, as I told you, mosquitoes, housefly, cockroaches, and other insects which breed in the dirty place and then they enter our home or sit at the foods which we consume, or when it is consumed by any other person also, and when we come in their contact it may get transmitted to that person also, because some of the diseases are communicable and some are non-communicable. Communicable are those that can transfer from one infected person to other, like cough and cold, and non-communicable diseases are those that will not get transferred to the person by direct or indirect contact. Like if you are having fever and I hold your hand, you will not get the fever. Correct? It is useful to think of the immediate cause of disease as belonging to distinct types. One group of cause is the infectious agents, as I told, mostly microbes or microorganisms. As malaria is caused by the which mosquito causes malaria? Mosquito bite. That is the female Anopheles. And dengue is caused by the Aedes because they carry the microbes of malaria and dengue that can make us ill. When they bite, these microbes will enter our body through the blood. And when they are transported to the body, slowly they get multiplied and makes our body weak and we fall ill. That's why at the time of malaria, we go to the doctor and he tells us to get the blood check. Correct now? When your blood is tested, it may be come to know that are you infected by any disease or not. Because if you are infected, these microbes can be seen in the testing of the blood, which is done in the pathology or the laboratory. Diseases where microbes are the intermediate causes are called infectious diseases, means which can spread from one person to another. And the disease which are not spreading, that are non-infectious. On the other hand, there are also diseases that are not caused by infectious agents. These causes vary, but they are not external causes like microbes that can spread in the community. Instead, these are mostly internal and non-infectious. Suppose if any person is having diabetes or any person is having the problem of blood pressure, will it get transmitted to the other person if you are coming in direct or indirect contact? No. So they are non-infectious. But if they are spreading when you come in contact with the other person, so these are infectious diseases. Correct? So I think so you are clear with this one also. What are infectious diseases and what are non-infectious diseases? We have read about health cause. What does it mean? Causes of disease. What is a disease? Significance of the health. What do you mean by a healthy person? How the diseases can be spread by microbes, by pathogens. Infectious diseases are spread by pathogens. But non-infectious diseases, these are present in the internal and this cannot be spread to the other person. Okay, so I think so. What are infectious and non-infectious? This is also clear to you. The ways in which diseases spread and the ways in which they can be treated and prevented at the community level would be different for different diseases. Yeah, correct. Different medicine is there for different disease. This would depend a lot on whether the immediate causes are infectious or non-infectious. By knowing the disease only, we can take the medicines, get the treatment and cure ourselves. So on the page number 180, there are some questions which you have to answer them. And these questions you will attempt, and if you have any problem in writing the answer, then I will help you in writing them. Second thing, there is the next heading, infectious diseases and the infectious agents. What are infectious agents? As we talk, the insects which carry the germs or the virus or the microbes which make us ill, they are called infectious agents. As we have seen that the entire diversity means variations. As we have seen that the entire diversity seen in the living world can be classified into few groups. The 5 groups which we studied, what were that? Protista, Monera, fungi, plantae and animalia. In that only there is a group fungi. It contains a number of organisms. They feed on dead and decaying material and they are called saprophytes. Correct now? Because many of the microbes are used in the preparation of many things. Cakes, bakeries, alcohols, medicines, vaccination. So they are our friend also and they are our enemy also. The classification which we studied in the chapter 7, it was based on the similarities about the common characteristics between different organisms. Organisms that can cause disease are found in wide range of such categories of classification, that is the fungi. Okay, these organisms fall in the category of fungi kingdom. Some of them are what? Viruses, some are bacteria, some are fungi. So, what are causing us diseases? Infectious diseases. They can be virus, they can be bacteria, or in simple words we can say these are the microbes. Microbes means microorganisms that can't be seen by our naked eyes. Some diseases are also caused by multicellular organisms such as worms of different kinds. As like in the nematoda there is an organism which causes disease elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is a disease that swallows the skin cells, and this can be seen in the animals. These are like leeches, the earthworms. They stick to the body and suck the blood, and they cause us disease the elephantiasis. We have read in the chapter number 7, and if you have forgot, you can go through that text part and you will come to know. Next, on the page number 181, there are a number of diseases and causes, and the bacteria name is given. So you have to prepare a table for that, and keep in mind that is memorize all the diseases and the disease causing bacteria and the symptoms also if possible. Symptoms means what are the symptoms? The signs will be seen when you are affected by that disease. Some common examples of diseases caused by viruses are common cold, influenza, dengue fever, and AIDS. Diseases like typhoid fever, cholera, tuberculosis, and anthrax are caused by bacteria. Underline this thing. Diseases like typhoid fever, cholera, tuberculosis, and anthrax are caused by bacteria.